Hello everyone and welcome to episode 90 of the TEW 2020 New Japan Pro Wrestling Series here on the channels. It is the Wrestling Dontaku Tour. As for this Wrestling Dontaku Tour, of course, obviously you have your two final shows as far as back-to-back nights during the last, or actually not the last week of April, the first week of May. As far as, so that should be exciting to see for Wrestling Dontaku. As far as, I do like some of the tour matches we have as well throughout this tour. And of course, we'll be having 6 tour shows. There's a special one that I'll talk about once we go through the cards as far as for the final show. But as far as, 90 episodes though. Hard to believe. We've been just rolling right along. As I don't want to look too far ahead to see where we would be in 10 episodes, but I'm sure you guys could figure it out. But I'm excited to see what the big 100 is going to be. Hopefully it's something pretty cool. We're going to try to make it cool, at least, since it's, it's a pretty big deal. As far as 100 episodes, we'll probably be close to, I think the last time I checked, we were, 970 something? Yeah, 961. So we'll probably be at 1,000 by, we'll probably be close to 1,000, probably about the time around the G1 ends. Because the G1, right, like if we were to have the G1 tomorrow type of thing, if this was the G1 episode, we would be a little under 1,000. So we'll obviously clear that by the time we get there, because obviously we have this tour, we have the Best Super Juniors tour, then we'll have Dominion, and obviously into the G1. Before the 2 shows here for night 1, the main event is going to be a United States title matchup, IWGP US title matchup. Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Jon Moxley. As I think this is going to be a fun little matchup, though, as far as 2 completely different styles. I think that will mesh together pretty well. I wanted to highlight this because on night 5 of the Road 2 show, we're going to have what I'm dubbing it as a New Japan Warfare match. Now, this matchup, it's 5 United Empire members taking on 5 Task Force Death members, but it's like a gauntlet, and it's, as far as it goes back and forth until there's, as far as nobody left from either side, who's ever, as far as whoever runs out of their members first loses. And, as far as I thought somebody had done this in real life, because the reason I had this idea was WF Attitude had like a match called War, that match type where you picked like 4 guys. And, as far as you can make it like a 4-ways, you could have like 4, 8, 12, and 16 people kind of in a match. As far as once somebody gets eliminated, that person comes back in, and obviously it comes down to whoever has the most members left. But I felt like somebody had done this in real life, where it was 2 stables, and it was like, as far as a gauntlet match, basically, like this, where it comes down to whoever, as far as the last whoever, as far as is left out of whichever stable is there, who basically ever runs out of their members, is the idea. But Moxley and Zack Sabre Jr., they will not be involved in that matchup. They'll kind of be the captains that are there at ringside type of thing. I think it's going to be a fun way of doing a different type of tour, as a tour show where it's one match. As far as to have one giant-ass match for a tour show, I think it's going to be a pretty fun idea. Obviously, the way it's going to be set up, it's going to be like multiple matches, obviously, but as far as, that's going to be also a different way of going through that show, because I'm not going to, like, pre-book it. Like, you guys are going to just see it as it unfolds type of thing, because it'd just be a lot more exciting that way. So, this should be a little shorter, of an episode than what we're usually used to seeing, so that's going to be nice. Then the co-main event, though, Never Boy 6-man tag team title matchup, Blast Off versus Peace, Love, and War. Of course, that's Juice and Coughlin Connors. And then the junior heavyweight title matchup, Barbaro Cabanero taking on Fuminori Abe. So as far as Blast Off, Peace, Love, and War, 2 matches there. Barbaro Cabanero, probably the first and only guy in this save to have a heavyweight title match first before junior heavyweight title matchup. But here we are. As far as that's a fun opportunity, though, for both guys to really have a great little matchup. I think stylistically they're very different as well. So again, I just like the styles clash of some of these matches on this first night. But the next matchup is Sonata and Taichi against Sonata and Taichi against Hiro Tamura and Bryan Danielson. Yeah, the plan is to have Sonata versus Danielson at Dominion, so that's kind of what building up to that. Bryan still is a ways to go, though. As far as luckily, we have a little bit of time between now and Dominion, so hopefully we get him on the right path. Maybe he'll never be the same as what he was beforehand, which is, as far as that's a good chance of happening, for sure. I mean, that was a serious injury. We're lucky he didn't retire, because that could have been really bad. Hiromu and Naito, though, taking on Tyler Black and Robbie Eagles. Tag team matchup there, LIJ and Tyler Black and Robbie Eagles. So the reason why this is happening is on night 2, obviously, you see the main event is Hiromu versus Tyler Black, but that's just not a normal, singles matchup. Whenever that matchup takes on Volter at Dominion. So it's a number 1 contendership matchup, so a little build up to that. Task Force Death versus United Empire. Since we're going to be doing a lot of Task Force Death, United Empire stuff, just felt like we're going to have, I believe this might be the 10-man. I know we do have a 10-man, and then we have an 8-man. So I believe this is the 10-man. I believe that will be the Lucha Brothers, Kingston, Pac, and Umino, taking on United Rage, Daniel Makabe, and Gresham. And then I believe the 5th guy is Alexander for United Empire. I could be wrong on that, but as you can see, Gresham and Makabe, they take on the Young Bucks on night 2 for the New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team titles, which that's going to be Matt Jackson's first match back, so that's a big time match. Actually, I think he's going to be back for one of the tour show matches, so that's a good sign. But Task Force Death, United Empire, big-ass multi-man match there. Then Max Blood versus Top Flight. This is just, obviously 2v2 matchup. It's Ryu Lee and Samurai Del Sol against Dante and Darius Martin. I think it's going to be a fun Steal the Show matchup. And then to open up the show, Suzuki-gun versus Koji Kamai. That will be an 8-man tag. As you can see, Kira Tozawa and Freddy AI is going to take on Koji Kamai, the new Junior Tag Team Champions, for night 2. So a little build up to that. And then we have a Designers of Perfection versus Dragons Den match. But again, building that Sonata Bryan Danielson matchup. Now this is a different. This is going to be an 8-man, and it's going to be Zack Sabre Jr., United Rage, and I believe Josh Alexander versus Moxley, Kenta, Pac, and Kingston. I believe that's correct on that one. It might be the Lucha Brothers. I could be wrong. John Cena and Brody Lee versus Hiroshi Tanahashi and Shinsuke Nakamura. So the idea is at Dominion, we're going to do the New Japan Strong versus Never Openweight Champion matchup again. As far as I like that idea from last year when we did it with Okada and Tamura. So right now it's Brody and Nakamura as the champions. Obviously that might change. There's still a little bit of time between now and Dominion, but as of right now, that's the Pendleton matchup. But we're going to have Brody and John Cena take on Tanahashi and Nakamura. I like that match as an undercard match. Obviously, a lot of star power in that one. It might not go over well as far as quality-wise, but I think it's a fun match to have on the undercard, especially. Then LIJ, House of Black. So, because obviously Hiromu and Tyler Black main event, just felt like we needed an undercard match with this, with these two groups. It's going to be Naito, Shingo, and Bushi against Malachi Black, Rob Eagles, Al-Kakui there. In the opener, Claudio and Hook against Okada and Yoshihashi to start it off. The plan is to have Claudio and Okada at Dominion to start off that match, or start off that show rather, which that's a hell of an opener, but that's going to be fun. That's going to be a fun match to kind of build towards. We needed a non-title match for Dominion. I just felt like that was going to be a good little opener as far as without having a title match or anything. Because we're trying to make Dominion obviously a very big deal. I think it's got a good chance to maybe be better than this year's Wrestle Kingdom, which is interesting because obviously this year's Wrestle Kingdom, I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it's as far as it was a 97, which was awesome. But I still think it's going to be better. This Dominion show is. I really think it's going to be quite the show. Actually, depends on how Bryan does. If Bryan's not back to what he was, we might struggle. We might struggle with that show. But if he's back to where he was before the injury, by far, that Dominion card has a great opportunity to be better than this Wrestle Kingdom show. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome to think. But yeah, I mean, as far as that war match, the New Japan Warfare matchup, that's going to be on day 5. So basically, even though it's 6 tour days, it's basically 5 because of the one match that's happening on the day 5 show. So it's still a longish tour than what I would say maybe not longish. It's a normal size tour than what we usually do, but We get one less day, basically, so that's going to be nice. And yeah, without further ado, let's get this first day rocking and rolling. Let's get the tour off to a good start, hopefully, as we have our main event. So we have Blast Off and Peace, Love, and War as a 6-man, and then 10-man for Dragon's Den and Designers of Perfection. I think we're going to go with this as the main, though. Blast Off, Peace, Love, and War. But Abe, Kunosuke Takeshita, and Tetsuya Endo against Barbaro Cavanero, Coughlin Connors, as Barbaro Cavanero is going to beat Tetsuya Endo. We're going to go with that instead of this because there's just so many, Sho, Izod. Obviously, Brian's not at that same level anymore, so it just seems like that's the safer bet. But the Dragon's Den team will beat Designers of Perfection. As Paris de Silva. Actually, the Designers of Perfection, are going to beat the Dragon's Den team, as Paris de Silva is going to beat Sho, as we'll have Tanahashi be the agent. Then Suzuki-gun, Koji Kamai. Steal the Show matchup as Hook's going to beat Io. A little junior 6-man there. Then we'll have Reynolds and Silver against the Time Splitters. Oh, this Techno Masterclass matchup. Alright, so Shelley is going to beat Reynolds there. And then Okada and Goto against Claudio and Rex Steiner, as Rex is going to beat Goto there. Yeah, it's going to be pretty bad. Pretty bad. We'll have that fall out. And SB Kento in Bakken Okamoto is the opener, which obviously SB Kento is going to get the win over the Young Lion. Pretty straightforward stuff there, as far as we're not really reinventing the wheel, just trying to help build up to those matches for Wrestling Dontaku, rather. As, see here. So we could run either the Nippon Cache Arena, which I think we will. Yeah, 3,500 is probably better than running 2,000. Could even run 2,500. Don't mind that, but yeah, I think that's a good call for the first night. So let's run the show. 44. Oh, SB Kendo with SB Shooter in 10-15. Yeah, not a great opener. Not great at all. 61 for Reynolds and Silver against Reynolds and Silver against Shelley and Kushida. It's a good matchup for the Time Splitters. There's the underarm snap STO from Shelley over Reynolds. Alex beating Alex there. And 60 minutes, yeah, because the opener sucked. This didn't suck. 65 for Okada and Goto against Rex Steiner and Claudio. Yeah, slightly better team is Rex Steiner and Claudio, but Claudio and Okada do exactly the same. Ishii and Suzuki at ringside too. Just some good stuff there. Good stuff. The 65-63 for Suzuki-gun against Koji Kamai, as Hook submitting Yo. I think it was a good call. Hook is still not where I was expecting him to be so far. So that's been kind of weird. But yeah, I did well. Him and Francesco Akira, rather, did exactly the same. But yeah, Elioto Del Airbender with a 60-90 skill in it is Vikingo. It's the man 70, though, for the 10-man. How about that? As Paris de Silva pinning Sho in 20 minutes. It's a good little match. Yeah, I mean, Izod Collection NYC didn't really perform all that well. Taichi with a 63. O'Reilly with a 68. Oh, there we go. Brian's at a 63, too. He's getting a little bit better. He's still a ways away, but slowly but surely, I think it's going to work out for him. Is he still rusty? He's probably still is, if I had to guess. Yeah, he's still rusty. He is declining, though, physically, obviously, but I'd expect he's going to be around the 80s once the rust kind of wears off of him. But Barbaro Cavanero with the La Cavanera over Tetsuya Endo in 20 minutes as a 71 there. So yeah, we went with the right decision, having that be the main. Blast Off had a good performance there. Barbaro Cavanera, he was the best guy in the match, but he does get outperformed by Endo. It's only 1 point, though, so it's not that big of a deal. It's a slight upset. Maybe not even slight, like a minor upset. But yeah, I mean, as far as have we had better tour like main events and go-mains? Yeah, but we're it's kind of, as far as out of those guys, I don't think a lot of them have been in like a major main event as far as for the tour compared to all 6 of these guys. Obviously, Abe, maybe with if he's teaming up with Ibushi or if he's teaming up with Taku Nomura, but other than that, it's not the case. Same thing for Takeshita and all that. But boy, it's good to see that these guys are getting good push up the card. We're really elevating Designers of Perfection too. 2025 has been the rebuild year for sure. Our roster is getting older and older, and it's as far as from where we've been with elevating talent, it's gone pretty well. I think as far as they're not at the same level as some of the guys were at the beginning. Obviously it's like Danielson and Okada and Tanahashi and those guys. Obviously they've kind of went down a little bit. But as far as obviously we still have Zach doing well, we have Tyler Black doing well, and Moxley doing well in his return. So that's been great to see, and obviously Tamura's run was awesome to see, and we've had new champions as far as like fresh new champions too throughout this time. So it's been an exciting nuance in this kind of new era of New Japan. Hopefully it keeps on going though. All these good times going. As on to day 2, we go. Alrighty, day 2. As for this main event, I believe we're going to go with the LIJ House of Black 6-man. Just seems like that's the best case scenario here. Tyler Black's going to be Shingo, though, so that's a big win for House of Black. Big win there. Order of Destruction versus House of Torture. As far as, this is a big-ass tag match as far as size-wise here. Almost easily well over 1,000 pounds in this match. As Will Hobbs going to be Brody King in 20 minutes. Nice little win for them. I believe the last time these two teams faced off, House of Torture beat them. Yep. Back on Strong 2 years ago. Yeah, they had the G1 Climax Finals matchup. New Beginning as well. Order of Destruction won. And probably one of the first tag leagues from the House of Torture, because obviously then it turned into, as far as with Jay White teaming up with Miramore, then not. But well, I mean, Order of Destruction, this was, I believe, yeah, this would be match number 6 for them, between the two, and Order of Destruction up 4-2 in the series, with that win. Been a while since they've had a match. Dark Order versus Tanahashi, Nakamura, Shelley, and Kushida. So it's going to be Brody, Black Taurus, Red Helmet, and Silver. Tanahashi's going to beat Black Taurus there in 20 minutes. Then Dragon's Den, as Tamura and O'Reilly against Tai Chi and Burberry Baba. And Tamura's going to beat Burberry Baba. And then El Kakui versus SB Kento. Technical Masterclass matchup. SB Kento will be getting the win there. And then Hayata Jr. Fujita is going to take on the young lion of Hiroshi Miyoshi. Which obviously the kid is going to get the win. And Hayata Jr. Fujita with the kid. And so, I mean, this is, I think it's going to be a better card than last show. So that's a good sign. Yeah, we'll be running the Mino Value Hall. We're saving Korakuen for that Warfare match. Oh, they don't click. Another opener that's a swing and a miss. He gets the one with the helm. Rather, he doesn't even want the kid. Oh, well. 55, yeah, so SB Kento and El Kakui. They have a pretty decent little match, though, honestly, for these two. El Kakui thought about giving him the win, but went with the shooter instead of SB Kento with SB Shooter. It's a good match, though. I would actually like to see this in real life, because obviously, well, I mean, it could happen, because now that he's gone from Dragon Gate and SB Kento, it's a good sign that this might happen, but I doubt it. It seems like New Japan rarely does that when they try, pillage guys from other companies. Rarely does that happen. They kind of keep it within, use their young lions. The 74 for Tamura and O'Reilly against Burberry Baba and Tai Chi. Shout out Burberry Baba, first of all, for doing the same rating as Tai Chi, but it's not a bad match here. Not a bad match at all. Tamura with the just face lock in 10 minutes. It's a 76 for the 8-man of Kingdom of Strong Style with Tanahashi against Dark Order. It's Tanahashi with High Fly Flow over Black Taurus. Silver and Reynolds get outperformed by Black Taurus. Brody leads around the 69 range. Same thing as Kushida. Shelley with a 63. That's interesting. But yeah, Nakamura and Tanahashi carrying this one is, about to say, is Shelley now holding back? Oh, no, I was supposed to say declining physically. He's not. Shout out Alex Shelley being the man. And 81. For Order of Destruction versus Miro and Brody King. They do have excellent chemistry, but it's not enough. Brody King, not good enough to take out the Hobbs and Tankman team. It's Doomsday Plunge from Will Hobbs over Brody King in 20 minutes. And a 76. Oof, we went the wrong thing going on last. Yeah, Shingo and Naito not doing well. Hiromu carrying kind of that matchup from their perspective, and then Robbie Eagles nowhere close. Him and I would say Malachi Black nowhere close to Tyler Black, but Tyler Black with the curb stomp rather over Shingo. It's weird because that was a good show. It just kind of wrong thing went on last there, but that's all right. I'm still pretty happy with that show. This got fucked up because of this, so can't really fault it too much. But that's not a bad show. Not a bad day 2 show. So on to day 3. Here we go. Alrighty, day 3. As for the main event, that's a good question because it's either that 8-man, the Blast Off and Peace, Love, and War, or Claudio and Hook against Okada and Francesco Akira because I really like that match. It's a tough one. We'll kind of see. Yeah, because Barbaro Cavanero is going to beat Abe. Yeah, I don't hate it. I think it's going to be talented enough to be a pretty good main event. Yeah, we'll go with it. Yeah, the challenger beats the champion, which is why the match ends up taking place, because obviously the challenger being the champion. Then Francesco Akira is going to beat Hook. How about that? Pains me. Pains me the Hook. I mean, does great on, like, the US tapings, but is just popular in Japan, still not there compared to his US stuff, unfortunately. Mexa Blood versus Flight Club. We'll go here. Steal the show matchup. 6-man as Strickland's going to beat Dorada. It's a big win for Flight Club. And then we'll have Pac and Numino against McGavin and Drew Gulak. Joe Numino's going to beat Gavin McGavin. And we got House of Torture. And as far as that, Taiji Shimura, Drew Parker versus Jonathan Peck and Chris Vart, as Drew Parker's going to get the win. And then Hayato Jr. for Vegeta and Flamita, which we're actually going to bump that up to go after that. Alright, so it's pretty weird to have the Technical Masterclass matchup as the 3rd matchup on the card, but I think it's going to deliver the way I'm hoping it, as far as the last 2 shows, it hasn't went our way with that, so maybe pushing it back a little bit could help us out. Yeah, the Beibu Beacon Plaza here for day 3. Let's run it. 63 for the opener. That's actually not bad. As Ishimori killed it. Drew Parker doing pretty well there. There's a Bloody Dragon from Drew Parker pitting Jonathan Peck. 10-21. 66 for Hayato Jr. for Vegeta and Flamita, as they have great chemistry, so that worked out well. Hayato Jr. for Vegeta with the Kid. 10 minutes. There we go. We finally bust out that Kid. There we go. Yeah, everything's working out well. It's Pac and Umino beating Gulak and McGavin. Shota Umino still haven't given him a finisher. We need to give him his finishers. But at least he gets the win. It sucks he gets outperformed, but it is what it is, unfortunately. There, 74 for the Steal the Show matchup is Flight Club, Mexa Blood. Shane Strickland getting the win with the handspring back elbow. We need to give him better finishers as well, as just instead of him always winning with the handspring back elbow, give him some actual big-time moves. A 76 from Hook and Claudio against Kira and Okada. Yeah, Hook. Worst guy in the match. It makes sense he loses to Yutaka from Francesco Akira. It's good stuff. It's good stuff, though. It's a good little match. 76, we'll take it. We'll take it. And 78 for the main event. Blast Off, Peace, Love, and War. Barbaro Cavanera, the La Cavanera over Fuminori Abe, taps him out with a 2. It's an awesome win. It's a big-time win going into the title match. Yabushi, Konosuke Takeshita, and Abe all in the 70, so it's Juice. Barbaro Cavanera just barely missed out on it. But yeah, it's a good main event. That's a good little show. That went well. Yeah, I mean, we're not having, like, crazy tour main events, but we're having good ones. So, I mean, we'll take that. I'm just glad that when he's gotten hurt more than anything. So, yeah, day 4. And then we'll go on to day 5, which will be the New Japan Warfare matchup. Then day 6 will be the final show of the Road to stuff. And then on to the final show. So, we're rocking and rolling. Moving right along throughout this episode. Alright, day 4. As far as the main event, it's a good question. As far as I just realized, we have Makabe Gresham and Roddy and Nick Jackson. This is supposed to be for day 6, so we'll go ahead and push that to day 6. As Ishii's passing on microphone work to Tomoya Tom Ford. So what we'll do, so yeah, we're going to push this. See if we can find Road to Wrestling to Taku. If I had to guess, this will be the final day. Oh, of course, I forgot. You can't move it. So, as far as... So we got Tankman and Akuya Miyagi. We can add over. Oh, we'll just kind of look and see what we got. left here. So, I think for the most part we need a main event. So kind of thinking of that. I know we just did a Dark Order Kingdom of Strong Style match. It's probably not even a main event matchup anyways. This Juice Carvanero Abe match is not bad though. And we have nothing involving them, so yeah, I guess that will be the main event. So we make we're making something out of nothing here. But yeah, Bushi's gonna beat Juice Robinson. I think that's gonna be a good match though. I think that's going to be a good one. So yeah, that's now going to be obviously put on that show. So the co-main, I'm gonna go with Hiromu and Bushi against Tyler Black and Malachi Black. Malachi Black's gonna beat Bushi there. Then Dorada and Flamita against Strickland and Casanova, as Flamita's going to beat Casanova in 10 minutes. Fujinami and Evil, as Fujinami's going to get the win. I think we're actually going to bump that up. Then Roderick Strong and Nick Jackson against the United Empire. Josh Alexander and Corey Jarvis. The tactical match class matchup is Roddy's going to beat Jarvis. And then, of course, Fly's going to beat Tsuneo Tokyo, who's probably going to be the best young lion that we will ever have, as far as from the generated standpoint. He's pretty good. He's pretty solid. Well, yeah, I think we're just gonna go with a. Yeah, I think we'll go with the Wakayama Professional Gym. I think that's a good call there. We should be good to go. Yeah, good to go. Yeah, we just have to change that around a little bit, but. I mean, as far as this card, it depends on how this flyer match goes. Alright, so it went alright. 56, we'll take it. So it doesn't hurt the card or anything. 450 splash win from Flyer, then a 71 from Nick and Roddy against Jarvis and Alexander. Double knee gutbuster from Roddy over Corey Jarvis in 18 minutes. A 65 from Strickland and Casanova against Mascara Dorada and Flamita. It's the Fly Flame from Flamita over Casanova. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Fujinami beating Evil. Evil outperformed him. How about that? I should have had Evil get a win. Double underhook suplex from Fujinami. And 82 from Hiromu and Bushi against Malachi Black and Tyler Black. It's close, but yeah, I think the right team wins. It's a roundhouse kick from Malachi Black over Bushi. If Bushi wasn't really off his game, it probably been a little bit more their favorite. But alas, it was not an 82 for the main event as well, as Papera Cabanera and Juice Robinson losing to Ibushi and Abe. It's the last ride style Tiger Drive from Ibushi over Juice Robinson. Hell of a match. Hell of a show. How about that? This went a lot better than expected, though. That Alexander Jarvis, Nick, and Roderick Strong matchup. I didn't think Nick would perform that well in the Tactical Mass Class setting, but he did. He absolutely did. Alrighty, now on to the New Japan Warfare match for Day 5. I'm excited to see how this goes. I think it's going to be unique in the fact that it's a gauntlet matchup, but it's really not a full-on gauntlet match in the same way as far as it's guys are coming in and out, but it's not full-on like somebody might, as far as it should be back and forth. It's basically like if you were to take War Games, lift the cage up, and instead of having someone come in every 2 or 3 minutes, you have somebody come in after somebody loses. So it kind of makes sense from that perspective. But yeah, I think it should go over pretty well. We'll see how the crowd thinks of it though. Alrighty, it is the Warfare matchup. We're in Corcoran Hall for this one because I just feel like that's a great place to have it. It's, a rampant crowd, and the walk from obviously the entranceway to the ring is pretty short, so you can go really right into the next matchup without really waiting a long time here. But yeah, Moxley, Zack Sabre Jr., they're in their respective corners, and it starts off with Gulak versus Shooter, as Shota Umino loses to Drew Gulak to the Gulak in 16 minutes. Shota Umino with a 51, 64 for Drew Gulak. I think that's the right call. I have Shooter go down first, and just the distraught Moxley, just like, God damn it, Shooter. Says, they're down 1 already. But they get it right back as Kenta beats Drew Gulak with the go to sleep in 8 minutes. So he makes quick work out of Drew Gulak there. And as now we're 1-1. Kenta takes on Katsuki Nomura, and he beats Katsuki Nomura. Now they're down 1, are the United Empire. Kenta making quick work out of United Empire so far. But out comes Lee Moriarty, who gets the win. He beats Kenta, and they have great chemistry as well. Just Kenta just having great chemistry with everybody in this matchup, seems like. But Lee Moriarty gets the win. They're even up again. And out comes Pentagon Jr., and he gets the one with the Fear Factor. So now we're back to the advantage for Task Force Death, as the Fear Factor in 938. Pretty close, though, 76-74. That's not bad at all. And out comes Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander with the TKO win. So we're tied up again, 3-all. And Ray Phoenix gets the one with the Meteora. So they're up 4-3. And as far as it is gonna, Ray Phoenix can end it right here. But the Great Okan is the final man. But he gets the win thanks to interference from a already eliminated Katsuki Nomura. Comes out there to help get the interference win for the Great Okan with the Cobra Clutch. As basically knocks him out with a. I'm trying to think what would be a good gimmick. I kind of want to see him hit him with a barbell, to be honest. I think that'd be kind of cool. Like, maybe not a barbell. Yeah, a barbell would be kind of cool. Like, obviously a gimmicked one, as far as hitting him in the back of the head with it, and he just kind of gets, put in the Cobra Clutch, but he's already knocked out from the barbell, so he's, as far as just 1, 2, 3 from the ref, as far as picking up the arm, and, he gets the win. The final man, it comes down to the last matchup, and it's Eddie Kingston. He gets the win. He does it for John. He does it for Moxley here in the United Empire Fall in the New Japan Warfare matchup. That was a fun match. It's a fun idea. I'm a sucker for matches that you can have the entire show be about it, like the Tomiko matches. You don't really see that in America, but as far as it's always a cool idea to do that. I guess you can say Survivor Series matches if you want to just go with the American matches. A King of the Hill match, I know, or what they fucking, what do they call that? The Open, I guess an open matchup, like WrestleMania 20 at the Cruiserweight Open, like those matches where it's everyone's at ringside and you kind of one guy goes in once somebody gets eliminated type of thing. I think it's fun to tell a story within the full show. Kind of like if the Rumble was its own, story. If it was its own match, like its own show, rather, excuse me, as, well, I guess it already is its own show, but you get the gist of it. If it's just the Rumble match, like, you could tell that story throughout the entire show. Just works very well, I think, as far as it's a great way of telling a story to where it can hype it up as a special show, too. Aztec Warfare, from Lucha Underground, they always do that. That was a good call. They even had the fucking All Night Long match, which, Iron Man matches are kind of, they're a good idea for maybe not even for the crowd. It's better to just have a long match without knowing it's going to be a long match going into it, because you take away the surprise aspect of wrestling, and the idea of wrestling is obviously it can be over at any time. So when you know that it's going to go 30 minutes, you're kind of just waiting till 30 minutes to end. As far as to see who wins, it's kind of a weird aspect of it. But yeah, that's a solid little idea. We'll probably bring it back again. I think we might keep it at a Wrestling Dontaku event, because I think that would kind of be a fun little tradition to do, potentially, there. But that's a fun idea. Something different. It's nice to incorporate something new into New Japan. We try to do that kind of every other year. We try to do something new, like the King of Pro Wrestling tournament. Well, I guess that was already a real thing by the time. But they hadn't actually done it yet, is the thing, I guess, because, we started in March of 2020, so... so we made that our own thing, as far as with that, making it a one-night tournament, and it was just fun. It's a fun thing to put your own hand, I guess your fingerprints rather, if it's handprints, your fingerprints on something, and kind of do something new with New Japan, because obviously they've been around since '72, so there's not a whole lot of new things you could do with the company, but that was nice to see. So yeah, the final tour show now is upon us. I think it's going to be this Friday. So yeah, on to the final tour show. Alrighty, the final tour show is upon us. Backstage incidents, we have a lot of them actually. Fujinami helped create a great atmosphere backstage when he pulled a great rib on everyone, and got the whole locker room laughing afterwards. Nakamura brightened the mood backstage was doing some funny cartoon drawings of his colleagues, Cena and Tanahashi. God damn it, Cena. As he brought for wrestler's court, accused of being an hour late to pick up a signed travel partner. As the judge for Tanahashi found him guilty and sentenced to pay for travel partner's meals for the next 3 shows. And then Satoshi Kojima passing on microphone work to Hayata Tamura. So, as far as, obviously we know that, now we gotta go back in time. But not really, back in time. Oh god, we gotta see, road to Wrestling Dontaku. Where's it at? I don't like that. I'm not seeing it there. Oh, God. What a shit show. Because it should be, I guess that, no, that, I got an idea. As, we'll just put it on any, look for it this way. This is gonna be brutal. As, let's see, so, it was, there it is. Perfect. So we'll just go ahead and add it now. United Empire. Makabe and Gresham against Roddy and Nick Jackson, as Makabe is going to beat Roddy there in 20 minutes. Alright, now we can go back to this. Dark Order, Kingdom of Strong Style. See what we got as far as the 6-man match. Oh, that's right. We already looked at this matchup, as Black Dwarf is going to beat Jeff Cobb, though. So we know that's the Technical Masterclass matchup. Task Force Death, United Empire. Yeah, this is the main. Yeah, this is the main for sure. As Moxley, Pac, Kenta against. It's weird because Kingston probably should be. It should probably be Kingston. And, yeah, I think. Let's keep it as this though for now. Walter's going to be Kenta. And what we should do. So I'm going to change this. And then we'll have Kingston and. Do him and Penta. So I like that team. It's a fun team. Against United Rage. Or it would probably make more sense to do Phoenix since that's what there we go. But actually let's make it a 6-man. I don't know why we're trying to make it just straight up tag. We can make it a 6-man. It's fine. So yeah, Lucha Brothers with Kingston against United Rage. And let's go Moriarty. Like it. It's a pretty good match. But yeah, we'll trying to think what would be a good idea. Because I want to let's give Ray Phoenix the win over the Great O'Khan. I think that's a good match. Good idea. Oh, great. Yeah, gotta do this again. 3v3. Oh, not 3b3. 3b3. Oh, not 2. Jeez, good for trying to type in the dark. Alright, and then we gotta edit to the goddamn show. There we go. So Peck and Rosser against Velocities. This is gonna be a win for the Velocities. Here's Drew London. We'll be getting the win. And then Tankman's gonna beat Akira Miyagi in the opener. Yeah, it's basically gonna be a squash. I wanted it to have a young lion matchup against Tankman, but it'd be nice to see him kind of squash somebody, use his size to really throw his weight around. I think it'd be a good call. So yeah, that's the main. This is the Masterclass matchup. Alright. I think we got a pretty good show here, to be honest. We gotta make sure we pick a venue. Because I think we've kind of ran everywhere. Oh no, we haven't ran here yet. Where's the... Let's say, this is Sun Plaza. Should be a sellout. Damn near a sellout. Because we won't be using our figurehead. But, yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty good show here. To go into the final shows of the tour. Squash from Tankman. And, that's a 61. It gets the one with the Tankman driver. Love it. Love it. He should get a bonus, probably, for, he'd be an awesome guy for squashes, though. Get me back in WWF Superstar days. Be squashing jobbers left and right. But Velocities beating Fred Rosser and Jonathan Peck as a tag team specialist bonus from Velocities. Excellent chemistry from Rosser and Peck, which doesn't really matter because they're pretty bad anyways. But yeah, 62, so it's not bad. 69 for the Technical Masterclass matchup. Nice. That's Black Taurus pinning Jeff Cobb there. It's Infernal Suplex. Yeah, just Jeff Cobb is... he is not it. Yeah, he's just not the guy he was when we brought him in. Even then, he definitely went down. Extremely. As, But a little six-man matchup here. United Empire, Task Force Death, Phoenix pinning Okan. I don't know how I feel about that because I don't. Well, yeah, because United Empire, I think they lose in the main, so it's kind of weird. But oh no, they don't. Volter beats Kenta, so yeah, that works out. That works out. So yeah, that's a good match. Actually went pretty well. 74 for Makabe and Gresham against Roddy and Nick Jackson. It's Makabe lock from Makabe over Roddy. Like that. That's going to be a good tag match. The Bucks and Roddy, or Bucks rather, and Makabe and Gresham. 85 for the main event. Hey, that's one of the best tour main events we've had in a long time. Who would have thought putting Pac, Kenta, Moxley, Volter, and Zack Sabre Jr. in the main event would have went well, but Volter with a burning lariat over Kenta in 2024. It was a good match. Good show. Yeah, that's exactly what we need going into the final tour. Or to end out the final tour date, rather. Going into the days 1 and 2 shows of Wrestling Dontaku. Should be a banger. Should be a banger. I'm really excited to see how that Moxley Zack Sabre Jr. matchup goes specifically for night 1. But yeah, I think out of the 2 nights, I mean, that Tyler Black Roman match is going to be really good too. So I think we're going to have 2 good main events. I think we're going to have 2 really good shows. So that's going to be a nice kind of change of pace what we've had as of late. As far as we haven't had a light blue main event in a hot minute. So it's going to be nice to get back to the swing of things there. So yeah, on to the Wrestling Dontaku shows. Alrighty, day 1. As for Wrestling Dontaku, we ran this at the PayPay Dome last year. I think that's a good call to run it somewhere else, but that's not, I can't tell. So as far as we will be doing that, let's see, where's the PayPay Dome at? There it is. 40,000 on hand. I like it. Selling it out. Selling that sumbitch out. As for the main event, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Jon Moxley, you have a new U.S. champion. And Zack Sabre Jr. It's funny having an English guy be the U.S. champion, but we're going to have a little post-show press conference and talking about what Zack is just kind of like, now that the U.S. champion has some fucking class and dignity, and it's about time, the United States has somebody that's, as far as not a piece of shit, and as far as maybe I can, and he talks about rebranding it, and as far as, who needs to represent for the IWGP as far as that, piece of shit nation. It was just kind of, as far as healing up really more than anything. But I love this match because it's completely 2 different styles, in Moxley and Zack Sabre Jr. And I would like to think that they could have elements of going into each other's style as far as with, when Moxley is hammering away, and as far as getting a little physical in there, and as far as it's very much like a fight, and it's it's with a brawling, that he's in his element, and then when Zack tries to slow the match down. And as far as get him in a hold, and as far as work a body part, and just really get after it from that perspective, and grapple with them, it's going to be fun. But then you could see Moxley can, as far as he's able to maybe potentially get out of a hold here and there, and then Zack is able to rock him with a big time shot. Maybe uses a body kick or even a head kick or something. To where there's moments where, each guy is pulling something out of their other elements, of their opponent's elements, rather. So it's going to be a fun little match, I think. As far as how the match is going to go, however, I'm not really sure, because they've never had a singles match against each other, I believe. Yeah, so, it's the first time singles match in the safe and in real life. So, we'll see what happens. Moxley's unhappy, though. That's just great. Co-main event, though, will be Barbaro Cabanero against Fuminori Abe. Actually, no, I don't think this is the co-main, actually. I think it's the Never Open 6-man. But Abe's going to win, though, over Barbaro Cabanero nonetheless. So as far as he is still the champion, going into as I'm all over the place, over Barbaro Cabanero, and he's also going to be the New Japan Junior Heavyweight Champion, going into the Best Super Juniors. So, as far as there, no, where the fuck? There it is. Blast off. Peace, love, and Lord. Jesus. Ibushi's going to be Clark Connor. So we do have a new Never Openweight 6-man tag team champions. And I think it's the right call. I think they've had a good run. Peace, love, and war. Basically from New Year's Dash to now. It's from January to May. That's not a bad run. Not a bad run at all. And I think that it's been a well-earned run for them. As far as, but now Blast Off, they're a great team. Ibushi and Takeshita's great, and Endo helps. He's trying to help as far as they are rather helping him out and really getting him to the point where he's ready to go for a big time run potentially in the future. Sonata and Tai Chi against Tamura and Bryan Danielson. As Bryan's going to beat Tai Chi. We'll see how Bryan's doing, man. He's been slowly getting better. Hopefully this is it. As Romu and Naito against Tyler Black and Robbie Eagles is next. As Naito's going to beat Robbie Eagles. So LIJ beats House of Black. It's a big win for LIJ. That team obviously has been one of the best tag teams we've had in the series. So it's nice to still see them get wins. It is a 10-man tag. I'm glad we have to have a 10-man tag here. So obviously the 10 participants in the Warfare match battle it out now all in the same ring. And at the same time as Okan beating Shota Umino in 20 minutes. Poor Shooter. Keeps on losing. Mexa Blood vs. Top Flight. Nice win for Ryu Lee here. As Ryu Lee and Samurai Del Sol, potentially building up towards not only the Best Super Juniors, but also potentially, getting a junior heavyweight tag team title matchup in the future. The Suzuki-gun against Koji Kamai, the opener. Fred Yehai is going to beat El Hero Del Airbender. So the challengers beating the champions going into the title matchup in the next show. Nice little opener, too, so I think that should go over well. So yeah, post-show stuff. So yeah, we'll have the Zack Sabre Jr. one. That should be fun, though, as far as I don't want to say he's going to steal, Naito's gimmick as far as, treating the belt like a piece of shit, but that would be kind of fun. As far as he puts it on, upside down, type of thing, or maybe he even just plasters as far as the Europe on there instead. He calls it the European title, just stuff like that. Maybe just poking the piss out of the U.S. basically is kind of the idea there. But that should be fun. That should be a fun little run for him, and it gets him something to do because obviously he hasn't been a champion since Wrestle Kingdom. So this is a nice little turnaround for him. And also, it's going to build to Kingston and him at Dominion, is the idea of this as well. With Kingston, as far as he won the Warfare match, and he's, as far as he's going to try to do it for not only Task Force Death, but also for the U.S. now as well. So I think it's going to be a great, a great program as far as between those two, because, again, stylistically, very, very different, but it can be a great matchup as far as with the build to it, because I think the build's going to make a lot of sense from that perspective. But post-show press conference I'll go with Blast Off, showing off their new hardware, with also Abe retaining, so a lot of gold for Blast Off as of late. But, as far as with Ibushi and Takeshita, which, Takeshita, was he? I could have swore he was a champion at one point. I guess we could look at that. I could have swore he won the Never Open 6-man. He did not. I was thinking he did in, around his debut, but I guess I've been mistaken. So I believe that is his first reign in New Japan. So that's awesome. That's awesome to see. And then Tetsuya Endo as well, which that's his first reign as well. Yeah, solid stuff. Blast Off to the moon. Yeah, they're looking good. Looking good. Then Bryan hyping up his title match, saying if he's fucking 20 years that he's been working for this, and he's not gonna let this opportunity go to waste. Come Dominion. So that's that's obviously a big time matchup. He is going to prove again and again that he's the best in the world. He's been the best for 15 years, he says, and he's felt like this is going to be his crowning achievement. It wasn't in New Orleans, 10 years ago, well, maybe 11 years ago then. It's not going to be, as far as, it kind of runs through what all he's done. So he's fighting with a torn retina, getting, flying to Japan and back, retiring and coming back, and it's as far as he thought he was going to be on the shelf again. He's coming back here to cap off his career. So now you're kind of thinking it from the other perspective now. It is a reflective American Dragon from a guy that has put his body through hell, and he's doing it for this, to be an IWGP Heavyweight Champion. So it's really putting in the importance of what not only that belt is, but also what he feels like he needs for his resume, to really cap off that he's the best technical wrestler in the world, and he's the best wrestler in the world, as far as, talking about guys like Bret Hart, talking about guys like, as far as Kurt Angle, and as far as as far as with Kurt, he was a quasi, heavyweight champion, an IWGP heavyweight champion, but, as far as, it's still, I think they still consider that reign. Let's see if they might actually still do. Let's see. We could probably look back. Yep. Alright, so yeah. As far as, he could be a real IWGP heavyweight champion, he says, instead of Kurt Angle. Unlike Kurt Angle. And, that's the bar. That's the bar that he set himself on, and he's looking to shatter that, and shatter this little run of Sonata. And it's just, kind of talking about it was a guy that was living in the shadows of somebody else, and now he's some fashionista, and he's Milano Collection AT's golden boy. Saying he could wrestle circles around Milano Collection AT, doesn't need no dumbass Paradise Lock, to lock people up. When he puts somebody in a hold, he's looking to punish them. Not just, as far as making a mockery of them, type of thing. And he even says, he's making a mockery of the fucking business. It's a little stiff, as Bryan Danielson in that promo, but I think that's the great thing about Bryan is there's so many real things with that man, as far as what he's done and what he's went through, that you can't help but feel it when he's talking about these things, as far as what he's put his body through, what he's put his family through now, and what he's done in his career, that he wants to be the best in the world, and you believe it. Now, in real life, we've just seen that he fucking finished the match with a broken arm against Okada, so it's crazy, as far as what that man has done. But I think this is going to be a fun first night. I think it's going to be a good one, for sure. Let's run the show. 77 for the opener, as Suzuki-gun beating Koji Kamai, as Fred Yai beating El Hero del Airbender. It's Koji Clutch. It's good stuff. Yeah, I figured he would kind of struggle with this Sector Mass Class matchup. Did Vikingo, and he did. It's on his strength, which is fine. But yeah, 40,000 on the end of the PayPay Dome. For this one, it's 880 for the Steel Show matchup for Mexa Blood and Top Flight. As Mexa Blood, again, just one of the best junior tag teams in the world. Riot Elite getting the win in 11:41. 84 for United Empire and Task Force. That's the 10-man tag. Cobra Clutch from the Great Okan over Shota Umino in 2017. Alrighty, yeah, as far as Moriarty, best guy in the match for United Empire, that's pretty crazy. He's the man, but shows you how far along they've come. And yeah, as far as obviously Kenta and Phoenix and Pentagon Jr., they're doing really well too, so that's great to see from that side of things. Obviously, they've always been great, but especially Pentagon Jr., he's almost on the same par as Ray Phoenix now. That's great. 91 from Hiromu and Naito against Robbie Eagles and Tyler Black. And Naito pinning Robbie Eagles to Destino in 20 minutes. It's a good match. Good match for sure. Especially with the chemistry boost. Definitely helped them out a lot. And made them the better team, honestly, because of that. So 91 again. Sonata and Taichi losing to Bryan Danielson and Hayato Tamura. So 77s for Danielson and Tamura. Let's see if he's still rusty. Oh, looks like he's not. So yeah, looks like that will be about where he's gonna be. That's about right. As far as with the injuries and whatnot. 77. I could definitely see that being the case. But yeah, Sonata, Bryan Danielson, I think it's still gonna be a great match. You see the 90 from Sonata. I think he's gonna be able to carry Danielson to a great main event, which is kind of weird to say, because obviously if we had done this kind of pre-injury, that would have been easily one of the best main events we've ever done. But it is what it is. Oh, they don't click. I'm glad this wasn't the co-main, but Abe beats Barbaro Cavalero nonetheless with a figure 4 leg lock, and that's his third defense of the junior heavyweight title. And he's the champion. Now, going into the best Super Juniors. The 83 for the co-main event, Kota Ibushi gets the win over Clark Connors with the Phoenix Splash, and they are the new never overweight 6-man tag team champions. Juice Robinson, though, with an 82. Konosuke Takeshita with an 84 and a 92 from Ibushi. Yeah, just right decision there. I think get the belts on blast off. Oh my god. I mean, we just cannot buy a great main event. Don't know what it is, but Zack Sabre Jr. beats Jon Moxley with the European clutch. That's a fun kind of piece of shit way of going about it, too, to get a European clutch. Because, you know, you can go for the Death Rider counter into it, and it'll roll through into the clutch. Like, it just, you could definitely see that being a finish, and, man, that fucking sucks. That's an 81, though. I cannot believe that. Ugh. Lack of psychology. Brutal. The post-show press conference. I forgot to take some out as far as off-screen, but that's okay. 68 for Blastoff. Not a lot of great post-show press conference. There we go. At least Zack Sabre Jr. did pretty well, and he still trying to figure it out with improvising. But man, oh man, we just can't buy a main event. The fucking luck is not on our side. But I'm still standing by this show. It should have went a lot better. It just is what it is. But yeah, we're gonna put over Zack. We're gonna put over Sonata for his performance, and I'm trying to think who else. I'm thinking either Hiromu or Tyler Black. I think I'll go with Tyler Black. It's a good show, though. It was a good show. It's weird that the 10-man did better than the main event, but that's alright. Is what it is. We can't win them all. But on to night 2, as we get to see who's going to take on Volter at Dominion. The never openweight, or rather New Japan Strong, their openweight tag team title matchup with Gresham and Makabe against the Bucks. Tozawa and Yei against Koji Kamai as well, and that undercard too, which I think should still perform pretty well. There's some good matches on it. Plus Cena is on the card. You know, his first major event since the New Japan Cup. That's going to be fun to see how he does with him and Brody taking on Tanahashi and Nakamura. Alrighty, night 2 is upon us. As, I think we ran the Shizuoka Stadium, Shizuoka, rather, a stadium. Last time around, yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. and Shinsuke Nakamura. What a time to be alive that was. We just saw, of course, even Moxley and him should have had a match that was close to this. Maybe not a 99%, but definitely like a 95 or higher. I'm still pissed with that fucking performance. But Hiroshi Miyoshi, Sort for Russell Court, uses not joining the Wrestle Locker Room for a night out. As the judge, Shinsuke Nakamura, found him got the incentive to buy drinks after the show. So yeah, the main event, though, to take on Volter, comes down to Hiromu and Tyler Black. And Hiromu beats Tyler Black. So this is a massive moment for Hiromu, first of all, because he gets a chance to beat Volter before Volter ties him in defenses, most defenses in the reign, as far as for the series. So that's going to be a fun match, because, yeah, they're, right now, Volter's at 6, Hiromu's at 7, rather. I think it's a great story to tell, and again, stylistically, very, very different as far as that he's gonna have to bring his lunch is Hiromu for that matchup, because it's a major matchup for sure. The New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team title matchup: Daniel Makabe, Jonathan Gresham, the new champs. I think this is the right call here. Young Bucks, they're just they've had a good run, but we're kind of phasing them out of New Japan. Matt's not the same, really. AJ's getting older as well, and he's not really performing as well either. Really, it's just kind of Nick and Roddy that are doing well, so it's kind of in a weird spot right now with them. But Gresham, though, gets the win in 22 minutes. Then the match before the co-main, junior tag team title matchup, Elliot Odell, Airbender, are going to beat Akira Tozawa there, so they do retain, and they get their first defense for Koji Kamai there of the Junior Tag Team Champions, as Desires of Perfection, Dragon's Den. This is an 8-man. I was thinking it was either going to be 8 or 10-man, but it is an 8-man at the dance, so it's going to beat Jude London. Well, they keep on having Brian be the goddamn agent for his own matches. Oh, that's right, Garcia's hurt. That will be show, I guess. Not that big of a difference, but a difference nonetheless. Now I got it. Oh, and clicked on the wrong goddamn match. Fun, there we go. Oh my god. I just changed him. That's... You're killing me. You're killing me, TEW. So I guess I gotta hit fucking yes. Oh my god. I can't. I can't with this game sometimes. Jesus Christ. 4v4. The absolute state. This fucking thing. Alright. Now can we finally add it to the goddamn booking sheet? Thank you. Oh my, and it's already there. I'm a... Can't stand it. Can't fucking stand it. Alright, so... with, going to the next one. Task Force Death. United Empire, the 6-man tag. As, with Moxley, Pac, Kingston, Zack Sabre Jr., Fulter, Lee Moriarty. It's Moxley beating Moriarty in 20 minutes. When did he get a win back? Obviously after losing here and on the previous night. So, it was a nice little win back for him. Then Cena and Brody against Nakamura and Tanahashi. Shinsuke's going to beat Brody Lee in the tag match. So it's a big win for Nakamura, and a little, as far as to go into that Dominion matchup, a little bit of an advantage now with that win. LIJ versus House of Black. LIJ's going to win. El Kakui's going to beat Bushi there. So nice win for House of Black, even though they're going to lose in the main event, obviously. Then Okada and Yoshihashi against Suzuki-gun, as Claudio will be beating Yoshihashi. Alrighty. Like that. Alright, so post-show stuff. We'll have, with Hiromu, as far as the big task that he has ahead of him, as far as being able to maintain his record, as far as for in the save of the most offenses. So that's comes down to him and Volter. He's in the way of his own destiny, as far as if he's able to stop Volter, he still is the most successful Intercontinental Champion in the save. But if not, Volter ties him. So just as far as I think it's a great story for Dominion for sure. I think it makes sense. We'll go with Nakamura and Tanahashi. I think that'd be fun. Nakamura. Hashi. Nice. And just kind of talked about the win tonight, and as far as potentially, Tanahashi is hoping Nakamura can beat Brody at Dominion, and then just talking about the match at hand for Dominion more than anything. And we'll add one more, United Empire. Big night for them, as far as some more gold for them, and as far as when they went into this tour with no belts, as far as now you have U.S. title, tag team title, New Japan Strong Openweight tag team title, so they're eyeing potentially more gold. Maybe United Rage getting a title match with Lucha Brothers, potentially wanting to get a tag team title match up there, maybe for Best Super Juniors. That's a good little co-main, I think. So, and just kind of talking about that more than anything, as far as they still want to be the best. And also, obviously, the IC champion and Volter, as far as so Volter gets some company as far as with his championship gold. But Volter's just saying it doesn't matter who it would have been, if it was Hiromu, Tyler Black, anybody in the world, he was going to beat him. And anybody that stands in his way is going down. More so than anything, as far as with that. Because he's just on a tear. He's a man on a mission. He can't be stopped. So, as far as you have a Volter, now as far as adding some championship brothers in the United Empire with Zack and now Gresham and Makabe, much like where they were early, kind of not even 6 months ago, as far as when Zack was heavyweight champion and Daniel Makabe, were they the tag champs? I was thinking they were, but I don't think they were. They had a chance, from what I remember, because I believe it was, if I remember correctly, maybe not. I was thinking they had a match for the tag team titles. I guess not. I guess I've been mistaken. But yeah, I mean, as far as New Japan Strong, New Japan Strong Boy Tag Team Champions, but they had 5 defenses. They had a really good reign. They had the best reign yet so far. So that's can't really go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with it. But yeah, I think it's a good show. I think it's a good main, good co-main. Got everything rocking and rolling. Yeah, let's just trying to remember where. Yeah, it's Chubu. That's right. Well, I haven't ran here though. So is there a big enough venue for this? I don't think there is. Yeah, the 32,000 seater, but yeah, I think we're gonna run. So yeah, we have the Toyota Stadium. So that's 44,000, and yeah, the Shizuoka Stadium. It's 50,000. It's not bad. Not bad. Yeah, we'll pick that for now, but we might go somewhere else. Just kind of look and see. Just look around. Sometimes you might find Q&A stand with Yagi. Let's see, 47,000. Yeah, obviously we just ran the PayPay Dome, so yeah, that's not going to be it. In Osaka, I mean, we could run the Osaka Dome, but even then, we're obviously going to be running that for Dominion, so yeah, I think, yeah, we could run Sapporo, but I think even then, I don't think it's really a necessary thing for us. Yeah, I think it's a good call. All right, let's run it. 74 for the opener, Okada Yoshihashi. Losing to Claudio and Hook. Again, Hook does much better in the U.S., so he's still working his way to being great all around, but right now he's still struggling to get over in Japan, which is kind of weird, because obviously all the major shows are aired everywhere, and obviously Strong's aired everywhere, so it's just kind of weird that it hasn't caught up to him, because we booked him on a lot of Strongs to try to help elevate him, but it just hasn't been the case. But Claudio, though, with a very European uppercut over Yoshihashi in 20 minutes, 78 for LIJ and House of Black, El Kukui pinning Bushi with the shooting star press. He's getting better. Oh, Yotasuji, he's getting a lot better. As far as Bushi was the best guy in the match, so that's kind of wild. Who would have thought? With Shingo, Naito, Malachi Black, even Robbie Eagles. And yet, Bushi, the best guy in the match. 40-year-old Bushi. I think he's even older than 40s now. I think he's 42 now in the save. 81 for Cena and Brody against Nakamura and Tanahashi. Cena with a 62 is not bad, though. That's not a bad rating for him, to be honest. As Nakamura with the triangle choke in 20 minutes. Good stuff. Good stuff there. 90 for United Empire and Task Force Death. Moxley pinning Lee Moriarty with the Death Rider. I love how the 6-man is better than their U.S. title matchup. Moxley with a 79, though. What the fuck is going on with him? Huh. I guess that's where we're at with him. As far as, that's wild. Hey, well, he was doing really well with his U.S. title run, and now it just kind of fell off a cliff. Oh, speaking of fell off a cliff. Yes, 77 for Dragons and Designers of Perfection. Bryan Danielson with the pin over Jude London. Not sure why they didn't have him actually get a finish, but we'll take it. Sonata with an 88. Bryan with a 76. If we could get him to an 80 by the time that title match happens, that'd be great, but I don't think it's going to happen. 75 for Francesco Akira and El Hierro del Airbender, beating the Kuchikamai, or the Suzuki-gun team, it's Francesco Akira and El Hierro del Airbender getting the win as Airbender with a 630 over Tozawa. It's a good win. It's a good win, good performance. Love it. 88 for the New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team title matchup, the co-main event, Octopus Stretch from Gresham over Matt Jackson and the Young Bucks. No longer New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions. It's a good win. Good win for Makabe and Gresham in our main event. It's an 89. Call sucker as Hiromu was really off his game. Time bomb win from Hiromu, though, in 27-47. At least that was a good match, but yeah, Tyler Black. Unfortunate, because he had a great performance again here. I just can't buy a break. Can't buy a fucking break. Because in post-show press conferences, I just realized that's Hiromu in there and not Tanahashi. Well, gotta love that. 88, though. Man, it's fucking brutal. brutal. I'm still going to put over Hiromu because maybe some positive words of encouragement could go a lot his way, as far as having him feeling pretty good about himself type of thing. But yeah, we love Gresham. I mean, Sanada did well again. Like, he's been just tremendous. Let's see. We put over Zach. Maybe Moxley. It's kind of weird. We have a weird... a weird little post-show speech where we're trying to elevate guys that didn't really actually perform all that well to help try to get them on everybody else's level. But that will do it for the 90th episode here for TEW 2020 and the New Japan series on the channel. And on to the Best Super Juniors, as I'm hoping we can kind of right the ship here. I know we're not doing bad as far as, obviously, we're still doing well. We're having good shows, but they're not great shows. They're not these all-time classic shows that I'm wanting to have. And as far as, it is nice that at least the Wrestle Kingdom shows and the Dominion shows are still doing well. But if this Dominion show here doesn't deliver, I'm going to be real upset. As far as in the next, as far as episode 92, when that will be. Taguchi's going to retire. How about that? I think we've put him in CMLL, and yeah, we let his contract go. So he's actually unemployed right now, so that's kind of sad, but our roster's already huge as it is. But yeah, as far as that, we'll do it for episode 90. Thank you all for watching. We'll catch you guys next time for the Best Super Juniors. Take care, everyone.